we signed up to the code, I think, originally because there was this constant discussions about what is social enterprise way back, and I know that's a kind of boring conversation, but it was like sort of Friday night pub. What are we talking about here? And I think people felt it should be really loose, and that was good. But as time went on, there was a real impetus to say we need to define what social enterprise is, because what is it in terms of who gets business support, who gets grants, who gets loans. You needed to, when you're doing the census was coming, so we needed to really get some, what is this animal that we're talking about? And the looseness was just becoming a real challenge. And we argued for a long time about, like, social, if we get a sentence, say social enterprise is this, and there was a lot of arguing, well, I don't like that word, and that's not quite right. And I think certainly when Sensco started to really put some thinking around this, it was a bit a genius moment in a way. It was we just won't define it, so it's not a legal definition like it is in Italy and other places. It's not a legal thing, it's not enshrined in law, but we as the sector of Scotland need to work out, well, what are the parameters around. So there's a bit of looseness in there, but a social enterprise is basically not public sector, not private sector, so the asset lock is quite important. So it's got a set of parameters to say, well, this is what we in Scotland see as social enterprise. Not that other things out with those parameters are bad, or that social enterprise in Ethiopia or Australia are not social enterprises, but in Scotland this is what we understand as social enterprises. And that's why we signed up to that process of thinking through. And I think that's why we support it, because it's got a group of parameters which we agree with, but there's a bit of looseness and a bit of juggling around in there. And I suppose secondly, what I like about it is that it's not a one sentence enshrined forever, because that's a point where people a few years time might go, well, that doesn't work anymore. That we meet twice a year-ish and then go, is this still okay? Does it still work? Maybe use some of those frequently asked questions. So it's the reason I like it is it's fluid enough, but strong enough as well, and it's reviewable fairly easily, because it's not a one sentence, it's not a box to fit in, but it's enough of a box that people have to feel they can fit in with some of those guidelines.